Ladies and gentlemen, according to credible news that we received from the United States Embassy in Mali, the State Department has resumed operation, including returning to normal staffing levels, activities, and programming as the federal government has officially reopened. Ladies and gentlemen, this is a country that said Mali was one of the most dangerous countries on the planet just some days ago. I'm not even sure it's up to 7 days, and they were given a traveling advisory that all their citizens should evacuate Mali with immediate effect. You see, the flashpoint here is, after describing the Malian situation as unstable and dangerous, even advising the nationals of the United States to leave Mali with immediate effect, now the United States is coming back, to reopen diplomatic and consular service in Mali. Who does that? You see, you just knew that this was a plot to kind of make demarket Mali, to kind of make Mali look like, these people, they try to do everything they can overtly and covertly to make you look bad once you don't agree with them. You see, we might not agree. We might have conflict of interest, but there are some levels you actually take things to that can destroy or truncate future relationship with states that, can be of critical importance to you when it comes to diplomatic alliance and shared interest in the future. Ladies and gentlemen, what do you think about this news of the United States? Now, we're not now they shouldn't even think we are celebrating this. Left to me, I think Mali should not even let them open that stuff. They should not even let them open anything. Well, but I feel like, for whatever reason, they will still get to open. They will continue to tell lies. They will continue to do all they can, But there are some moves that have been made in the past 24 hours. And these moves are scary. Okay? Let me not lie to you. These moves are looking somehow. A lot of people are celebrating this move, but trust me, Andre don't celebrate. Most especially when I subliminally spot danger or when I sense it. And this will take us to the next information of today, because something different is happening in Mali as we speak, and we need to talk about it. Guess what? Nigeria is now moving towards military cooperation with Mali. I would have loved this cooperation if Nigeria had not caved, to the pressure from the US after declaring Nigeria a country of particular concern. Because it was after the designation of Nigeria as a country of particular concern that we started seeing some renewed efforts in the fight against terrorism. We started seeing counter-terrorism on a whole new level, But when you look at the level of peace deals that happens in Nigeria, most especially in the Bakori local government of Katsina State, the level of destabilization in Katsina State and all of those things like that, it makes you wonder, who are these people? How interested are they in fighting terrorism? What is the corruption, meters? What is it reading in Nigeria? To be honest with you, I'm a Nigerian, but I don't know how to feel about this. Now, according to the information we received, a united front against armed terrorist group in the Sahel, Nigeria Defense Minister, His Excellency Mohammed Badaru Abubakar, arrived in the morning of November 13th, 2025 in Bamako. He was welcomed at the Modibo Keita Airport of Bamako, Senegal, by his Malian counterpart, Army Corps General Sadio Kamara. You see, there is a lot to discuss about partnership, relationship, shared goals towards combating the scourge of terrorism. But as a Nigerian, you see, I need to ask a question, okay? Mali is going towards completely demilitarizing and capitulating jihadists in their country. But what type of relationship do you want to have with a country that give peace deals to jihadists, where some men within the state that does not hold any government or official position will come up and say that if the government threatens the jihadists might be angry and the unthinkable might happen. What type of nation? I don't know what to say. And Mali, yes, is anybody, the doors of Mali is open. Anybody can go to Mali, show solidarity, talk about, a combined effort to fight the scourge of terrorism. But so far, so good, Mali has combated these people. But the question is, if Nigeria cannot contain the Boko Haram, you could not contain ISWAP, the bandit has been a mess. What type of joint assistance does Nigeria want to offer to Mali? It's really, really interesting for me to find out. I really want to find out. I want to know what type of way or form is Nigeria trying to help Mali in this fight. I really, really am interested in. I'm curious. Okay. Now, so that's why I think, look, that might be a very, very dangerous move right there. Whatever they discuss, my own opinion, I just want to beg the country of Mali, please stay on your lane and mind your business. Okay. That's all I have to say. Okay. Stay on your lane and mind your business. Okay. Now, according to General Assimi Goita, let's listen to what he has to say. General Assimi Goita said, and I quote, "Either we fight this war or we remain slaves forever because they are tracking us. Foreign powers are using terrorism to subdue nations, reluctant to offer aid while imposing political and economic control. They dictate who becomes president, prime ministers, major, or congressmen. They demand shares in our mining companies, control of our passports, and even our natural resources." You see, everything Assimi Goita said right there is actually true. He doesn't need to be the most eloquent person out there, but everything he said right there is true. You see, but on the flip side of things, yeah, there are some French representatives that work for the French DGSE. They are coming with different anonymous accounts, but we are able to still track them because we have all type of media tools we use to really, really excavate the identity of people. Now, let me keep the name of this particular French agent anonymous. He said something, and it's very, very important that I make it known to people, right, before I really, really talk about it. He said the juntas in power quickly forget who ensured the security of Niger. France and Niger had a good understanding, and above all, Air Base 101 at the Niamey Dihori Amani Airport, which enables the country's security for a decade. But let's be honest, right? When France was even in Niger, the security situation was even worse than we have it now. Now there is security. The citizens then kidnapping was the order of the day. They were there both in sleepers and in active cells, right? It is now that they are fighting that they are using different type of drones, Barakter, Akinchi, Aksongo. We're seeing a lot of capabilities. That's why, the impetus and the effrontery of these jihadists have even reduced. I remember back then, Niger was like the worst country in Africa. I could remember that even President Buhari even had to send several vehicles to Niger to help them, that the situation was worse. They sent food, they sent different things to Niger, right? That was when France was there. Talk more of. Now they are living in affluence. They are enjoying gradually, they are stepping up. Niger is getting on the world map. Iran is coming, the BRIC nations are coming to Niger. Niger has now become a big name on the global geopolitical scale. Before they do anything, you will start seeing that, Niger has already agreed a deal with Iran to sell so amount of uranium to Iran. Whose business is that? Look at these people. According to what he said it wasn't magic that before the coup d'etat, Niger was one of the most stable countries in the Sahel. That's a lie, okay? He said with MQ-9 Reaper drones, fighter jets, Mirage 2000s and Rafales, French forces kept jihadists at bay who threatened other states like Burkina Faso. Okay, let's even say, you brought this whole capability, the MQ-9 Reaper drones, fighter jets in the mode of Mirage 2000s, and Rafale Dassault fighter jets, according to them. Even in Benin Republic right there, even in Cote d'Ivoire, there are no Rafale jets there. I don't understand where this whole propaganda is coming from, okay? Now, let's even say they brought these capabilities to Niger Republic to help Niger to combat the scourge of jihadists, right? In Niger Republic. What I have to say is that you were taking uranium, you were taking all sorts of resources, oil and so many other rare earth minerals from Niger, right? You were destroying that country, because if you look at the way France disposed the contaminants after enrichment of Niger with Orano, if you know what happened to the people in that environment, it was catastrophic. And still, when you were leaving, you left with all this military capability. So what are you talking about? You were training them with bamboos and mahogany trees. Captain Ibrahim Traore once said it, that the troop of the Sahel, they were soldiers with wood, with planks, with trees. What are you doing? Now let's move forward. He said intelligence support was crucial for Niger. This enabled the identification, location, and neutralization of jihadists. The question is, are the Nigerian authorities not doing this as we speak? Right? He said, our ground troops, the Alpine Hunters and the Special Forces participated in training of Nigerian forces. Today, we are accused of colluding with those same jihadists we have always fought. Okay, let's say something, okay? I remember one of the French DGSC agents said something about Mali when the fight started. He said, oh, the people fighting in Mali are not the farmers. He said it's the Russians. And I asked, I said, why do you think it's the Russians and not the farmers? He said, we know how we train them. He said, we didn't train them with enough capability to be able to withstand that level of pressure. He said, we know the people actively fighting are the Russians, because they underestimated the intelligence and the adaptability of the Africans. That is the problem they had. Africans don't need to learn for 1 month straight before they grasp and they, adapt to whatever capability and whatever training you are giving them. That is one gift that Africans have. So you just imagine. And now they are saying that they are being accused of colluding with the jihadists. Why did the sleeper cells wake up when you left? Why are your channels, giving platform to known jihadists? Wasim Nassar. We can't mention the number of JNIM leaders that have actually gotten platform to speak on different French mainstream media that protects the interest of the French deep state. Okay, you say we are accusing you of conniving with jihadists. Yan Vesilier is still in prison in Mali for espionage. You see, well, everything this DGSC guy wrote here is not even interesting at all. He now said it's utterly ridiculous. The Nigerian authorities now insult us since we've left, but they quickly forget France's role in their country's security for years. France paid out of its own pockets, can you imagine, to help the Sahel pay and ensure their security. We lost dozens of soldiers. We won't fall into the trap twice. Now that we've left, nobody will protect them anymore. You see, that is very, very, very wrong. To say you even pay out of your own pocket. Okay, what did you pay out of your own pocket? Is it from the money that you looted? Is it from the cheating? Is it from the complete marginalization? Is it from the first rights to every resources that they find in Niger? Is it the complete domination of their sovereignty, the resources? No, now. Let's be honest with ourselves. Those people are not being realistic with whatever they are saying. The proof are out there. The facts are out there. France really, really destroyed this nation. There are generations of men that are living right now in Niger that the effect of the role of French mining companies, we hit them even to the next generation coming. You see, France should not even be given the luxury of paying reparation. You know, the crimes of France in these countries have gone beyond the level of paying reparation. That is why you see General Abdurrahman Chiani of Niger will always say one thing. He said the best thing that France can do to them or for them is to completely leave them alone. You see, there is a level of relationship you will still have with someone that you say, okay, pay me reparation. Pay me for everything you've done. That is still when it is still, you know, when the sin is still forgivable. But there comes a point where it gets to, and you just be like, okay, just go away. Just leave me alone. It's like a relationship. There is a level at which you break people's trust too, and all they just ask you is, just go. Is it not recently that the Malians in diaspora in France, they actually called out different French media to stop soiling the name of their country? And those people come out different ways and form to try to defend whatever we don't understand that they're trying to defend. But anyway, you know, all I just have to say is that, you see, the fact that these things are coming out, the United States is all over the place in the Sahel. They come one time, oh, Bamako is about to fall. Now they are opening all their operational destiny again. Should they even be allowed to come back? You see, I think the Sahel is winning. And I think they need to maintain the focus more than ever. Now that Nigerian representatives are now going to the Sahel, I think it's high time for them to be more than aware. Now the intelligence capabilities need to even be on another level now, okay? Because these people don't give up. And I want to tell you all something. You all need to even double your effort right now in giving your voice, in supporting the Sahel, in making sure you uncover any snippet of plots that you see out there that is against the interest of the Sahel. It will be a shame on us if these very people make videos and documentaries of how they sent different espionage agents, how they paid one or two people in the Sahel, and they paid allies like people like Beverly Ochieng and the rest of them, and they connive with different presidents, puppet presidents, to destabilize the Sahel, and they make documentaries like, okay, they now start, no, it won't happen. Not in our time. Okay? It's free smoke season. Now they are burning kerosene in France. That is just the tip of an iceberg. They will soon burn grass. You see, you will soon have campfire for people to get heat. The consequences, see, the karma exists. And that's what a lot of people don't know. They can continue to fly the propaganda, but we'll continue to uncover and discover the plots. Now let's go to the main information of today. The Burkinabe armed forces have now moved the one and most dangerous battalion to the Anifa forest, 90 kilometers off the border of Benin Republic. Why did they do this? They've actually moved out some team from that Anifa forest. Now they have the Rapid Intervention Brigade 1st Battalion in this location. The way they fortified the whole place right now, to me, I feel that now that they are now, you know, substituting troops, bringing in fresh troops and all of that, I think the Anifa forest is dusted and done. Right now, I can't remember the last time. For those of you that follow some of this French media, have you ever seen anything about Father Ngoma recently? Father Ngoma is under super control of the troops. I know most of their representatives are here watching me. I know that now that I've spoken about Father Ngoma, you might try to launch an assault. But it's a dare you might try. The Rapid Intervention Brigade, the 1st Battalion, they are more than capable to prove to you beyond all reasonable doubt that they are veterans. So ladies and gentlemen, this is where we'll conclude the news for now. we'll have the time to have live sessions and we'll have a great time together. Thank you for listening today, and God bless you.